Who bought Collective? I was gonna go to bed, but I decided to do a quick reading before I go to bed. Just why not? Um, I was gonna do it anyway, and then the internet shut off, and I was like, you know what? That's a sign. So, um, keep in mind that if you feel stressed or overworked, not to like struggle with that. And I'm gonna elaborate more on that. It's an awful way to start off, but we're gonna let it happen because, especially with the Wi-Fi turning off, it's like there's a disconnect that some of you may be needing. There could be a forceful disconnect that you're in right now where things just aren't working, and it's not to punish you, but it's to kick you either into gear or to put you in a position to where you're forced to just rest and not give a fuck for right now. Not every time do you have to work. It's not always like a oh, I have to work for the rest of my life and do all this crazy shit to get what I want. It's more of opening up yourself, your own vessel, to see what you do truly desire and then go after that step at a time. Even though this journey of living, this journey of a human experience, being a spiritual being, knowing that you have infinite power, infinite possibility, and all of these avenues you can go down, staying in the realm of knowing that you're still here and that it's going to take you a while to move forward from where you're at right now can be very stressful, can be very draining, especially for my people out there who have really big ambitions. Hi, I'm with you. It's a struggle because you're wanting everything to come to you so quickly that you're not really enjoying or paying even paying attention to the lessons that are being brought to you at the time of you doing what you need to do. And it's super important to, I'm going to say it like this, it's important to gaze outside of the window when you're in the passenger seat. And I feel like that's what this is going to be about, is just how do you actually relax? Why are you unable to relax? And what do you need to relax from? And though you know all these answers deep down, we don't really pay attention to that when we're in the whirlpool. When you're in a heavy current, not everyone's going to remember not to fight it and just to go with it because of panic, because of just adrenaline, because of all the sensory issues, right? So we're going to try and see, and we're going to focus on that as well moving in. And you know what's funny? This is the second time this fool came out, and like I'm going to count today, this reading as a day, but it's something about you being bound. You are stuck, and I'm really gonna pay attention to the cube. The cube that this man sits on, the little black box down there, that is Saturn's cube. He is sitting on top of Saturn's cube, and y'all are both linked. Y'all meaning both your feminine and your masculine side are linked to the cube of Saturn. Time is your stressor. Why are you so stressed out about time? You have an eternity. You are eternal. So why are you stressed about something that's going to happen in the future when you could do things now to shift that future and in fact possibly either evade that future and or bring it quicker towards you depending on what you're doing, right? So don't panic when it comes down to time. We have an eternity. We are eternal. You're gonna be reborn. Some of you might not. I don't know. I don't know everyone. You know what I mean? If it all depends on what happens when you are sent up and what's happening with your life plan. Because unfortunately, your life plan before you come down here can change when you go back home, right? It's not set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. Rosetta. That's a funny lyric. Go listen to Rosetta Stone by Chuck Sutton. That's a good song. I just feel like it's a song for this. Um, but it's it's all about time. There's a time and a place for everything. There's a time for rest, there's a time for action, there's a time to move, there's a time to not move. And with this being 15 to 6, you're really you're really needing to just see things more spiritually. It's like time is what's bothering you because you're trying to be in both realms again when you need to pick one. Are you going to be suffering as a human, or are you going to be experiencing as a spiritual being? And this is what you have to make the choice to. Human. There's another way. Instead of going Human, you break it down. Human. Hu means from God. Man from God. Human. We came from God. The flesh that we have came from God, right? Overstand that. From the Most High, Eliwan, Eliwan, El, if you want to say that, Anu, whomever, Allah, God, just not Jesus, because Jesus didn't create your flesh and blood, okay? I don't know, some people believe that, but Jesus does not create your flesh and blood. That's his Father, okay? You give thanks to the Father, quick, giving thanks to the Son. That's not what he wants. He's going to turn away from it when you do that, okay? Give thanks to the Father, not the Son. Son's trying to get you to the Father, not to praise him. He's going to turn his back on you, says so in the scripture, when judgment day comes, because he doesn't know who you are, because you didn't follow him to his Father, you followed him. And where's he going to Father, but you didn't want to go there. Anyway, regardless of all that, I just feel like pointing it out because it's important for people to know, because they go out and say things that they believe they should and it's wrong, and some people just want to say it because it's what they want to believe, and that's okay. That's on them. That's that's where their home is. That's not where my home is, but I'm going to make sure that people are aware in case they want to actually know what's going on instead of just saying stuff. You'll find issues. You find issues gradually. But anyway, it's all this time. It's like this time constraint of, oh, I don't have anything done yet, or I can't do this right now, so I don't know what I'm gonna do, or I just want to get this project finished. I can't wait to get this project finished. What can I do to get this project finished? All that energy of just wanting something to happen almost immediately is what's causing a lot of your issues. And it's not because you don't have enough time. It's because you're spending your time poorly. You're not using every second of every day to your actual advantage. You're instead just sitting around, not even waiting on something to happen, but hoping or trying to manifest something to happen instead of doing the work. But you've done it spiritually. That's the thing. Anything on this planet has to happen spiritually first before it comes down to the physical. And it's like you've put in all of this. I want this. I can get this. This is my plan to get there. When it comes down to the physical, now you're worried about time. And this is what's causing all sorts of stagnations and issues, because now when that comes back up to the physical, I mean the spiritual, and it comes down to the spirit, when it comes to the physical, excuse me, and you're worried about all that time issue, and it goes back up to the spiritual for the divine to work on it, for mom and dad to work on it. They're like, so you're worried about time, but you want these things, and now you're putting a bunch of fear and worry and stress into it. Well, now we have to get rid of all that stress, so we're going to put it back down to you and give you help and assistance and tell you how to go forward. But we need you to actually move forward with that knowledge and to do more with it. And I feel like a lot of you know this as well, but it's like actualizing it, actually sitting down and remembering, oh yeah, the reason why I feel like I'm out of time is because every time, well, that's funny. The reason I feel like I'm running out of time is because everything that I receive back from the divine is telling me the answers to these problems. And because I feel, or I'm sensing, or I'm thinking that I have so many of them, they're all like collaborating and coagulating, and it's all mushed together in this ball, and you're unable to really move forward or do anything. And it's like you've received it all, but you're needing to tend to things more. You're needing to tend to things more because you're not thinking clearly. There's a lack of a thought. Your thoughts are too rational. You're breaking things apart, trying to plan the whole thing. You're forgetting that you're in a cooperative relationship with you and the divine. You are working hand in hand with mother and father. And this is something you have to remember. It's not all you. You might have a hard time remembering that because, duh, you're on the physical, right? It's not just you. You have a mother and a father, a heavenly mother, a heavenly father, who are here to help you. And they're everywhere. They're in the painting behind the wall that I'm at, right? They're in that light. They're literally in the energy that you're receiving, the pixels on the screen that show my face barely, right? The shadows and everything. That's all mother and father showing themselves to you so that you can see them and experience them. And this is why it's so important to break free of this polarity of being stuck in between the two poles and choosing what you desire so that you can start seeing your actual reality, which is always happening, but you need to choose to start seeing it a little bit more. Because these thoughts of not having enough time is keeping you from seeing what's really going on. All of the beauty, all of the answers that you have truly, and all the answers that you are receiving, they're showing you the beauty of everything around you. But with that knowledge of that beauty coming towards you internally, externally, with the untrained mind, with the untrained right side of the mind, with the untrained physical manifester that we all are, there's no such thing as a master manifester because wink, wink, we all are one. You manifest everything you see a day. And in fact, if you break down the word manifestation, man infestation, the fact that man has to come in and infest and infect things and to take over and to have a ruling control right side of the mind causes everything, right? What you're needing to do is to relax from that, not put so much pressure on manifesting things strictly from only the divine. It's up to you to do that physical work as well. And it might come from ideas of yours. Maybe something in the past didn't work out. Maybe it's just you are not feeling as strong as you are. You're not in your Leo energy. You're not in your lion. You're not fierce. You're the cowardly lion with the lion without a roar, without a voice, you know? He's lacking that. The backbone is missing. And what is the backbone? What is the backbone to you? I'm not going to tell you what the backbone is because my backbone is different from everyone else's. What is your backbone? What are you needing to back yourself up with? And how can you give that to yourself first? And the reason I say to give it to yourself first is because you can't expect it from anyone else unless you're doing it yourself. If you already have the idea of, oh, let's do this, oh, let's do that, now all it takes is for you to take it a step further to see in a brighter, more extravagant way so that you can move forward and you can do the things that you're wanting. Look at all these kings coming out in reverse. What's going on? Like, there's something about you're not matured yet. There's an immature way of being, and it's so interesting because the sword came out first and the wand and the pinnacle. You're trying to think about something and then force the divine to make it for you on the physical. That's not how this works. You get the idea first and then it goes into a feeling, and that feeling becomes a thought, and then that thought becomes the manifested reality. It's like you're trying to control the divine by saying, I don't want to do this unless I can do this first, or I don't want this to happen, I want this to happen, and this is going to happen. And then you plot this huge list of everything that happened in the past and go, look at all these things that I had to go through in the past. This is why I deserve the things I'm wanting now. Well, what are you doing now to get those things? Look at the things that you've already received in the past. You've already received all those rewards. You've already received all that abundance. What are you doing now to receive those things? Well, from the looks of these cards, you're trying to control the divine, which doesn't work. You can't do that. They'll cut your supply off real quick. They'll show you, hey, that's not what you're supposed to do. We'll show you the right way. And it might be irritating. It might be a little struggle, but at the end of the day, up to you to truly step into your full power, your highest power, right? And to move forward diligently in knowing that the divine has already given you the supplies, the fire and the cup that you need, and the sword that you need. You have everything. But there's this, but what about this? There's this energy of, I want more of this, or I need this first, or I need that first. It's like, well, what are we gonna do to get there? Your wants and your needs are being heard, but your action isn't being shown. There's an idea that the divine is supporting you with, but you're not doing something right. You might feel like you need more of something before you can. It might be a fear of learning as time goes on. It might be a fear of just doing as you need to. It might even be a fear of like, oh, what if I see someone or something XYZ from the past comes up? Something of that's coming in. What's stopping you? And it's not the fact that it's stopping you, it's the fact that it's relating to a very old past trauma that has resurfaced in a new way, but it's supposed to be encouraging rather than dismantling. The Four of Cups, this is what you need to do. Like, really sit down and contemplate, meditate on this, think about it. The divine is handing you this cup. You've already made it through the distractions. You've already made it through all the excuses that you could possibly come up with. You've blamed the mailman, you blamed the milkman, you blamed the grocery store man, you've blamed your parents, you've blamed your dog, you blamed your ex's dog, right? And that's not to mock you, that's to just make light of the situation at whole. You've done everything under the sun except for one thing. And this one thing is different for everyone, but the general consensus is that there's this emotional fulfillment that you're wanting that you just need to go out and get. Like, no bullshit, no blase bullshit. There's something you want to get that you've already been promised that you can get, that you know you're able to get, that you know that you're willing to get, that you've even seen people outside of you receive. Now it's time for you to actually get it. And you're afraid. You wanna know why you're afraid? There's a few reasons why you could be afraid. Number one, you could be afraid because you know you actually deserve it. And it's not the fear of you deserving it, it's the fear of how fast it's going to happen. Because let's be real, for a lot of you, you have put in this work, but it's this fear that's been pulling you back from doing the last step, that's been keeping you distracted, that makes you want to push forward and I can only do this independently, or I need someone to come in and do this. There's that fear, there's that lack of seeing yourself as your own limitations, that lack of humility that you're not seeing. For others, this fear is genuinely like you can't do it because you're afraid of it, actually afraid of it. You're afraid of taking that step again. Maybe you took it once in the past and it just wasn't the right time. You're taking it again because it feels like you need to do it. It's this fear of, what if I fuck up? Like, what if I do it and I fuck up? But you won't fuck up because you know what not to do. This could even be a fear. If this is a relationship you've been thinking of, it's a fear of like jumping back into it because it has the cup. This has to do something with your feelings. You're feeling this energy, and it's like, I don't know if I could do this again. Like, I really like. I don't know if I want to. Like, is it worth my time? It is. It's worth your time. But you need to nurture it because it's like you're planting an apple tree. Oh my God, I want an apple tree, but it's going to take however long an apple tree takes to grow until I get my apples, right? And then some. And it's like, is it worth my time to wait all that time for the apple tree? Yes, because when you put that love and nourishment into it, the apple tree is going to be bountiful. And then when you get those apples, you know what you can do? You can eat them, you can sell them, you can replant them. And then you can do even more of that too. You can throw them at someone's head. If you really wanted to, right? Doesn't matter. You got all sorts of shit you can do with it, right? You can make pies out of it. You can eat it raw. You could sell it. You know, do whatever you want. You can get the seeds and all sorts of shit. Make your own juices and stuff. It's like there's so much you can make from this. But you need to be able to nurture it. And what is it? The general idea that you're being faced with is this next step is going to take me somewhere grand. Now, grand does not always mean good. Grand is grandeur. It's big. It's a lot. It's grand. It's a grand opening. It's a big opening. It's the number one look at me, right? It's going to be something that you want. But it's this fear, maybe a fear of having this much responsibility, maybe not being able to respond correctly to it, maybe a fear of how someone's going to respond to you. However, this is, there's this fear. And you're really needing to get over it. And it's not getting over it by ignoring it or pushing it down. You get over it because it's a hurdle. You have to know that hurdle. What is this hurdle doing? What does it look like? What is, what is it made out of? Study the earth, the hurdle. Study that feeling. Why am I afraid to do this? What energies am I still even allowing to penetrate through my protective mental, emotional, auric field that I have that's causing me that fear to move forward? Why don't I feel safe or comfortable to do what I need to do? Why is it this fear? Why am I embarrassed? Maybe it's like a self thing. You're embarrassed of yourself not being able to do something, and that's what's keeping you from doing what you want to do. Or it's this fear how other people are going to think of you to do it. It's something that's on your mind in the deep depths, and it's pushing you to either be extremely independent or extremely codependent, which too much of anything is always bad. So you need to really see what you're overindulging in on what side and move forward diligently with that. Seven of Cups reverse. Some of you may have already made the choice. Do not make the choice too fast. It's like you make choices and you want to run with them, but there's something about sitting and waiting. You need to wait. It might be like you set everything up in time, like you get everything ready for the choice to be made, right? But don't run off and zoom with it, right? And don't just assume that whatever you choose, it's, if that doesn't work, you have a lot of other choices too. No, that takes you back. You have to then walk back the track and go for it. It's something about just waiting and resting that you're not doing. You're not giving your emotions that time to rest because you're overthinking, because you're overdoing, because you're not really evaluating yourself or how you feel or what you even desire to have happen. Because at the end of the day, your desires will change multiple times. What are you actually wanting? Why is it so hard for you to admit what you want? Why is it so hard for you to really just sit down and be like, you know what? I would like this, or I would like that, or this is better for me. Or, I'm just tired of this cycle. Let me choose something different. Let me do something. Ask yourself these questions. Sit back and relax. What are you really wanting? Are you wanting to live a new life, a relationship, knowledge, a house, riches? Do you want to go serve something or someone? Or do you want to just continue down the path and be the slide? That's what the seven cups represent. Each cup has something different in it for a reason. There's so many things that you could go out and get. So why are you trying to rush and get that thing immediately? You have this imagination that it's funny how it works because people either don't, because when people don't use their imagination, when they're told to use it, when they start using it, it can be a little bit rambunctious. But then when you get so far within this journey of life, you overstand, I don't need my imagination. Hint, hint, because everything you see, feel, touch, everything is your imagination because you had to imagine it. You had to image it. You had to see it. It's already been here. Nothing new is under the sun. But things can get stacked on top of, you have erosion. You have soil when it stacks on top of other soils and stuff like that, like compost and all that stuff. You have these layers to it. And there's something about you not digging deeper on the layer around you. There's something off. There's something off about your day to day that's just not clicking it. It's not making sense. But you're just letting it happen. You know it's a cycle. You know it's something that shouldn't be there. Maybe it's a vision thing that's happening. Maybe it's a hearing thing. It's something that's going different. but you're ignoring it because it's like, oh, well, if this is happening, let me go choose something, let me escape this. What's going on though? Experience it, see what's going on. The emperor reverse, because you're throwing away your power. It's something about you being afraid of, oh, it's your power. You know that you can get what you want. You know you can. I'm talking to people or someone or something, or I could be talking only like one person. I could be talking to half of one person right now, which is just the intuitive side, right? You know how powerful you are. You know who you are, but you're afraid of that power because you've seen what it can do. Well, you've seen one part of what your power can do. And especially, and I'll say this now, especially for the ones who have been part of the spiritual journey or whatever, you want to identify it with, that have been on this side of people using things to hurt others or to, stall you on your journey or all these other things, right? You've seen how you affect other people, right? And it's that fear maybe jumping back into that, or that fear of just going out and putting yourself back out there. But that's the thing. Your energy is like that. You're needed. And it's not just your energy, it's everyone's energy, because you'll meet someone whose energy does the same thing to someone else that it did when you were there, right? To you. And what's going to happen is, instead of you flipping out and being crazy like that, you're going to overstand it. You're going to digest the energy and you're going to be like, you know what? I know what I need to do for this. It's not going to be scary for you. It's only scary to those unknown. And when you know yourself and you know the energy that you give, you'll meet people who give a more grandeur, a more brighter, a more vibrant, exuberant energy, a more spiritual energy, if you will. They have more spirit within them. And when you see them, you'll be like, oh shit, I see what I do to people. And you'll see the cycle and you'll see where you fit in. And instead of being scared by it, you'll be enamored by it. And not in like a weird way. You'll just be like, damn, like, I want more of this energy, but it's already in me. So what do I need to do to bring that out? But you're in this energy of, I don't want to do anything because I'm scared, because my power is too strong and I don't want to XYZ. No, you do want to XYZ. But there's something inside of you that's making you not want to step into that power. Why? Why would you rather let someone else win over your life than you win? You have to ask yourself this at the end of the day. Why would you allow someone else more power over you than you? That's the idea. That's the journey that the divine, that God, that whomever you want to say is trying to get you to see. The divine, mother, father are trying to get you to see. You know you're running out of time. You know a cycle is about to happen again, and you really don't want to go through it. So what can you do now? What can you do now to prevent this? What work can you do? And start working on it. It's time to collaborate. It's time to work with yourself. The divine really wants to see you move forward in a greater, brighter state. But it takes you to nurture yourself. It takes you to stay due diligent, to stay true and honest with self, to really walk down the path with honor for yourself, so that you can see everything that you're desiring to do. And not only everything that you're desiring to do, but everything that comes after that, the new ideas, the new plans, the new people, the new locations, everything else that comes after, right? It's up to you to see that. Woo! We got all the cards jumping around. That's crazy. Anyway, that's what you're needing to look at this time, is really, what can you do right now that's really going to help you? What could you do even? Let the ideas come to you. Don't force them. Don't try and think about it. Just lay down, relax and let everything come to you naturally. That's when the best things come to you, because you're in that relaxed state. There's no more restrictiveness. And then your heart can finally be like, yo, let's do this. Yo, let's do that. Let's just stay in motion. Let's just go with the flow. Let's not worry about too much, right? That's what the divine really wants everyone to do. But it takes time, of course. We have the Seven of Swords. And again, this might be something in the past. This might be something that you've done in the past already. This might be something that you've been wanting to do in the past. It's something about this thought that has just been sitting in the back of your mind waiting for you to see it. It's like, when are they going to notice that I've been here? I've been the answer the entire time. When are they gonna know that like like I haven't given up, like I'm still here, like I could literally just like do this and everything will be better. Like that's what's going on. Like why can't I do this? What's keeping you from doing that? What's keeping you from living your life? What's going on with that is that question, that question of waiting is the two of wands. You're forgetting that you're in control of your life. You're forgetting that the divine has already given life, and that divine life, that divine fire is already there, and the divine's giving you your own fire to move with, and as well as giving you the whole world as a playground to be in. But it's like you don't know what you want to do in this world, so that's what you're needing to look at. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take a journey, a venture through the realm of thought, through the realm of your rationalized self, thinking and really planning, like, what do I want to do, and allowing those plans to be fulfilled by writing them out. That would be a physical manifestation, like writing them out, or by saying out loud, I'm going to do these things, or however, right? Because there's this disbelief, there's this lack of an idea that is there, and you're needing to find the idea throughout all the mess, all the chaos, all the disruption that's around you. There is an idea that you've been presented with, there is a shining opportunity, but you're not seeing it because you're so stuck trying to follow someone else's plan for your life, or so stuck trying to follow the crowd, not being yourself, not doing what you desire to do. And that puts a lot of pressure on you, because what you're trying to do is to live up to someone's standards, or someone's God standards, or someone's, or even a standard that you put on yourself that you can't even get because you just see someone else doing it and you want to be that. Regardless, you can't live someone else's life. You have to live yours. You are you for a reason. You can't go out and live someone else's life. Doesn't matter how many, doesn't matter. I don't care. You could put a brain in a robot and they still wouldn't be able to live the exact same life. They wouldn't fucking know. They wouldn't have the exact mannerisms. It doesn't matter. It's the divine that's trying to talk to you and show you the right way. Trying to show you how to get your fire back. And it's like every time, it's like starting up an old car. That's what I'm getting, is starting up an old car. You keep turning the key, nothing's happening. Yeah, the Five of Swords wants to come out too. And again, it's because your five senses are inflamed by your thoughts. You're not able to start the car because you're like, what if the car explodes? Do I have gas money for my car? Is this the right key? Is this the right car? All these thoughts that are just popping up in your head that aren't really helping you out in any way, shape, or form. They need to go. They need to leave. And you know they need to leave. But you're so over inflamed that you're not seeing it that way. You're not engaged with yourself. You're not listening to yourself. You're not being who you want to be, which is scary. Maybe you want to leave and you want to, oh, I want to go home, but you don't even know where home is, and that's stressing you out too. Home is where the heart is, so listen to your heart. It's something about with the King of Cups as well, needing to really pay attention to that emotional value that you have, paying attention to your how you really feel, being in that emotional maturity, being completely in that emotional maturity. There might be some things you need to walk away from. There's something you need to inspect more. There's this royalty within being emotionally distinct and emotionally distinguished, I should say. So not allowing the feelings that you have to rule over and distort everything around you, right? Because that's why this idea isn't working out, because these feelings that you have are causing all sorts of kerfuffles around you for this idea that you already have. You've mastered how to tear things apart. So you're not being a mason, you're not being a bricklayer. You need to be a bricklayer. You need to lay bricks down to build a castle, and you want a castle, you want a kingdom. You got to be a mason, you got to make down some bricks, right? Those bricks come in the form of a wand, and that wand is then you're then, after the wand, you're given a cup. After that cup, you're given a sword, and that sword, a pinnacle. That's the building blocks. You're being given all these things, but you keep, it's like you douse the fire out with the water, and then you end up running and cutting your arm off with the sword, and then you have to use that pinnacle for the doctor to sew your arm back up. And it's like, well, where's my? I need another sword. I need another pinnacle. I need all the water. I need another wand. And the divine's like, no, we've already given you it all, but you messed up. You still have those things. Fix them. You can relight that fire. You can go refill that cup. You can go clean off that sword, and then you can find a new way to make a new pinnacle from all those things that you've done, right? You can start a sword cleaning business, start cleaning your thoughts, and then boom, you get pinnacles, right? Because there's something that's not manifesting for you in the right way. There's this test that's not working out. You gotta go back to square four. What would you think of? What was the main plan? Square four. What was the four? What was the main idea that you had? What was the box that you left that didn't work out? Figure that out and move forward. Get clarity, because then you'll see that crowning thought. Oh shit, I remember why I was doing it now. I remember the why. And when you remember that why, don't walk away. When you remember that why, do not walk away. When you remember why you're doing it, when you remember the glory that you want, the life that you want to live, the whatevers, don't walk away from that. I don't care how many times you hear someone saying, oh, someone's doing something in the background. Okay, they're doing it in the background. Awesome. I better not see them do it in front of my face. I'll slap them silly. If they want to do all that shit behind my back, that's cool. Because I'm going to keep moving forward, and there's going to be a bigger and bigger gap between me and my back. Between them and my back, I should say. So they're going to have a hard time catching up to me anyway, if I'm going to keep moving on. And that's what you need to see and realize, is the more you move forward, the bigger that gap gets. It doesn't matter who's talking in front of your back. It doesn't matter who's talking in front of your face. It don't matter who's talking beside you. It don't matter who's talking around you. It don't even matter if anyone, I don't care if the person's mute and signing and ASLing shit to your face. I don't give a damn. Keep walking. The further away you get from them, the further away you get from the bullshit, from the conundrums, from the distractions, the more of a gap is there. And the harder it's going to be for that energy to come back to you, because you've already moved on so far that even if you do look back, it's like, huh, what the hell? And you just turn back around and keep walking. It might be a pesky little fly or whatever that comes by. Who cares? Move on. Don't let it bother you. Move forward. You've been given a plan. You know you can't fail. But sitting around doing nothing is going to eventually lead to a failure, because you're not doing what you need to do. Now, does sitting around and not doing anything, now this is a good thing, because I just thought about this as well. It is time to rest for some of you. And you are guys probably asking, what do I need to do if I need to rest, but I need to get up and do something? Yes, you need to rest, as in let the divine handle those problems. What you need to do and get up and start doing is nurturing yourself. Know that it's already done. Know that your partner is working on it, and that they'll let you know if anything happens. Page of Cups. But there's something about not being able to do this because you're afraid that, oh, if I don't focus on this 24/7, everything's going to explode. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. That's not how it is. In the Knight of Cups, you're not able to move away because of these poor, these sour emotions that you're having. So you're really needing to focus on that. Why do you have these sour feelings? What's going on with that? Fix that for your better. It's something about the call. Your higher self, the divine's like, hey, like, do you hear the trumpets? You're about to go somewhere new. And you're like, I didn't even mean to hiccup. It must have been the wind. No, you are about to go on to a new journey. Keep moving. Oh, I can't because I just don't want to, or insert your reason there, right? Hey, you need to get up and start moving because we're about to take you somewhere new. Well, bring the new to me because I'm tired of moving around. No, you have to get up and move. This is important for you. But it's like you've made up this mind that everything has to come to you, or this mindset of, why can't they just come to me? When in actuality, it's you that needs to come back to yourself, to listen to yourself, to listen to what you actually desire, so that things can start flowing in for you, so that things can start being closer to you, all these things. So really just focus on that. Disconnect to reconnect, you know? Unplug from one reality and plug into a new one. That's really all you need to do. Because this reality that you're in is not working. It's not working with you. You're not able to cooperate in it. It's not the best for you, and you know it. So just remove the blindfold from yourself. I mean, again, like with the King of Pentacles reverse, you know this isn't working. You know something's not working for you. There's not a grand experience that you're having. You have a whole new judgment. You have a whole new set of rules. You have a whole new outlook to have. The Hierophant. These old rules that have been preached to you don't work. You need to start making your own. You need to start seeing things. The keys, you already have all the keys. You can use a key to open a door or lock a door, and it's like you're locking a bunch of doors so that no one else can get to it first. But that's not the case at all. We have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. Like, it's there for you. The gift is there. The nourishment is there. But you have to go get it. That's up to you and you alone. Because right now, it's not looking like you're enjoying things. And even if you go around saying, oh, I love this, I love that, do you really? Or are you just saying that to quote unquote keep a positive energy, which is not even true? If you're going to lie to yourself, that's a negative energy. If you're going to lie to yourself, that's not keeping a positive attitude. Be honest with yourself. You having a bad day? Have a bad day. Just don't have the whole day bad. Okay? Good things can happen during a bad day. If you're having a bad day, just sit there and be like, you know what? Something better can happen. Something better is out there for me. I know there is. I just need to sit back and do it and wait. You know what I mean? That's what you really need to do. There's like some fear. Anyway, we're gonna shuffle these animal cards. We're gonna see what wants to come out with these animal cards. Sorry if you can hear the shuffling. I don't really know how loud it's gonna be. I don't know how loud it is in any of these videos, but oh well. We'll move over to the table soon. I am just lazy and I want to sit on my bed. I don't want to get up and go to that table. I can do the work here. I can do the work at the table. I'm just lazy. I want to do it here right now. That's okay. Okay. It's my nourishment for the minute. You know what I mean? I'm gonna shuffle 3 more times. I'm gonna split the deck. I'm gonna take the top 2 of both piles, and then we're going to not use any more animal cards because there's no more other ones to use. But I hope this reading really helps. I'm gonna be doing a lot more. Just to fill in time, the trauma series takes a lot out of me. I realized that really quick, so those are going to be a little more scarce. General talking videos, whenever I get points, those are going to come up. Educational videos, whenever I get the studying done for them, I will. I'm getting busy again because not only am I doing all these things and got the tarot project and all such other stuff, my mentor is talking to me again, so that's another, like, that's a strict hour that I have to save out of my day every day to do that. So that's its own thing. And then it's just a bunch of stuff. I'm doing my best. You know, I'm a one-man army out here doing everything I can. I know y'all know. I'm just goofing off when I say that. But genuinely, like, I be doing my best. And you gotta take it one step at a time. And that's what I've had to learn the hard way. Right? We have butterfly though, metamorphosis. Pay attention to the areas or in your life or personality that are in need of profound change or transformation. You are about to enter a phase of expansion and growth which will be highly beneficial for your future. You have frog, which is transition. This is a powerful time of change. You're being called to connect with the world of emotions and feminine energies. You may also need to engage in a process of cleansing, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, or energetic. The hedgehog, which is trust. This is a reminder that even if you feel that others do not understand you or get what you are doing, it is no excuse to curl up and hide. Sure, you may need a little bit of space right now, but the world needs your gifts. You are more than worthy. Buffalo, which is abundance. Abundance and liberation are finally on the way. It comes to you now to remind you of the amazing manifestation powers of gratitude. You will always have plenty when you express gratitude to every part of creation, even the parts of creation where it doesn't work out, because you still created it, Be happy that you know that you created it and it wasn't anything worse, because trust me, it can always be worse, but it can be always be better too, right? Pro, which is transition. Which part of your life is or may be going through a transition? Maybe you're changing relationships, careers, or cities. Whatever it is, the crow is signaling that you are ready to make the change. Last but not least, coyote, which is playfulness. This is a reminder to not take things so seriously and bring more balance between wisdom and playfulness. You might need to lighten up about a matter that has been on your mind for a while. Unfold. With that being said, my laptop fan just kicked on randomly. You all probably heard that. If not, that is definitely, I'm going to say a sign to cool off, to relax, really just disconnect, and just relax. But regardless, I love you all so much, so much. Thank you all for sitting here with me in this reading. Um, Thank you for all the likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, whether energetic or financial. Again, if you're wanting to donate to the fundraiser or wanting to share it around, please share around the short I made of it and share around the poster that I made. You can literally screenshot the poster and post it wherever. It's just sharing it out. That's all I care about. If you want to donate to them, the stuff's in the description. If you're wanting any of my services, that's all in the description. If you're wanting the Malachi Z York books, that's also in the description. Regardless, though, thank you all so much for everything that you do. I love you all so much, to the moon and back, tenfold and